We start with the race for Oregon governor, won by Democrat and former Speaker of the Oregon House, Tina Kotek. It was far from a slam dunk. She faced a challenge from within her own party before the election and overcame the X factor of a well-known unaffiliated candidate. The challenge before the primary came from New York Times columnist and former Yamhill, Oregon resident Nicholas Kristof. Well-funded, with high name recognition, he was considered an early Democrat contender. But Secretary of State and fellow Democrat Shemia Fagan ruled that Kristof did not meet Oregon residency requirements, and she invalidated his candidacy.
As Oregon's chief elections officer, I have a responsibility to apply the rules fairly. It doesn't matter what political party you belong to.
15 Democrat candidates, including State Treasurer Tobias Read, challenged Kotek in the primary, which she won with 56% of the vote. Kotek appeared on this program twice leading up to the election and was confident she could overcome voter dissatisfaction with Governor Kate Brown, who was term limited out of office.
Voters are angry. I'm angry. I live in Oregon. I want things to work better. That's why I'm running for governor. The choice before Oregon voters this year is who is in line with their values, who has the skills and the track record to show that they can do the job.
On the Republican side, former House Minority Leader Christine Drazan emerged from a 19-candidate Republican primary that included Sandy Mayor Stan Pulliam and former Republican Party Chair Bob Tiernan. Drazan ran as an agent for change. She also appeared twice on this program in the lead up to the election. Now you've got a real shot to become governor in a blue state. What does that say to you about where Oregon is right now?
It really does show that Oregonians themselves are looking around and they recognize that the direction of our state is not helping their families. It's not helping their businesses, and they are open to change.
Now the X factor, Betsy Johnson. Johnson left the Democrat Party and the Oregon Senate, ran unaffiliated, and got big donations from Nike founder Phil Knight early in her campaign. Her first television interview as a candidate was on Eye on Northwest Politics. What do you say to people who see you as a spoiler in this race?
Well, I dispute that premise right from the get-go. I fully anticipate being the next governor. Whoever finishes third in this race is going to be the spoiler. But I fully expect that I'm going to be the next governor of the state of Oregon. It
was the first time in U.S. history that 3 women ran for governor of a state. But ultimately, it wasn't Betsy Johnson making history. It became apparent that Johnson's unaffiliated campaign stalled, and Phil Knight then threw his considerable financial weight behind Drazan and the Republicans. That wasn't enough, as Kotek, an open lesbian, won the governorship. Kotek took 47% of the vote in the general election to Drazan's 43%. Betsy Johnson took just over 8%. The first thing on Kotek's agenda, tackling the state's homeless crisis.
On day one, for me, it means bringing a new urgency to helping people who are living on the street right now. That means increasing the number of outreach teams who are working with people who are living in tents, helping them get connected to services, getting them into shelter, and getting them into permanent housing.
Kotek will be sworn in as Oregon governor on January 9th. We invited her back on Eye on Northwest Politics to talk to her as Oregon's 39th governor. On our very first Eye on Northwest Politics, we interviewed controversial Portland City Council incumbent Joanne Hardesty, who lost her seat to political newcomer and businessman Rene Gonzalez. A former state legislator, activist, and Portland police critic, Hardesty became the first city council member to sue the city and the Portland Police Association for wrongfully identifying her as a suspect in a hit-and-run incident. She claimed the leak was racially and politically motivated. Here's how she addressed that $5 million lawsuit during our interview.
It may be true that I'm the first elected official to sue the city that they are elected to serve. I will also say I'm probably the first elected official who's been set up by the police bureau to discredit their political career.
The lawsuit is still pending. Meanwhile, the voters decided to jettison Hardesty from City Council Position 3, opting to go with newcomer Rene Gonzalez, who made a name for himself advocating for public schools to reopen during the pandemic. Gonzalez won with 52% of the vote to Hardesty's 47%. Here's what Gonzalez had to say about his victory right after the November election. What do you think the city should do regarding the homeless issue?
Well, it's a multi-faceted challenge for the city of Portland. To meet our Ninth Circuit obligations, to meet our Oregon law obligations, to meet our humanitarian obligations, we absolutely have to prioritize the build of shelter as quickly as possible.
Renee Gonzalez will take office as City Council will be undergoing a major transition. Portlanders voted to change Portland's charter and its form of government. City Council will go from 5 members to 12, elected from 4 districts through ranked choice voting. Individual commissioners will no longer be in charge of city bureaus. That function will go to a city manager or city administrator. Charter Commission spokesperson Melanie Billings-Young was on Eye on Northwest Politics, and she countered arguments by opponents that the changes were too sweeping and should have been broken up into separate questions. Why include so many changes in this one proposal?
Because it was always seen as a single proposal, a change of our form of government. If we hadn't included all of those things, the system wouldn't work. It's like a 3-legged stool. Everything relies on everything else.
Voters agree the current commission system is dysfunctional. They voted for Measure 26288, 58% to 42%. The changes are slated to be in place in time for the November 2024 election. Early on, we devoted an entire show to our interview with Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler, under fire for the city's handling of the homeless crisis, crime, and record gun violence. I've been here for 40 years, and over that period of time, I have never heard the level of frustration with the state of the city that I'm hearing on the streets right now. What do you say to people who say that they don't feel the sense of urgency that's required coming out of City Hall?
Well, first of all, I want to say this. I absolutely understand and empathize with people's frustration and their anger, and I understand why they're concerned about the future of this city. But by the same token, I also want to make it clear, this city council is unified around our top priorities: homelessness, public safety, economic recovery, and livability.
Since our interview, Mayor Wheeler announced a sweeping homeless plan that will ban unsanctioned camping and establish several sanctioned mega camps in different parts of the city. Those sites have yet to be established, although money to begin the process has been approved. As for gun violence, the Portland Police Focused Intervention Team, or FIT, was formed, replacing the Gun Violence Reduction Team, which was broken up in 2020 amid concerns that racial minorities were disproportionately targeted. How will the Focused Intervention Team be different from what we saw with the Gun Violence Reduction Team?
There is a significant difference. There were 2 very damaging audits that were conducted on the old GVRT, as well as a lot of negative community input, identifying too much, a disproportionate number of stops of young Black men who were not committing any crimes.
But FIT's effectiveness is still a question mark. Portland has recorded at least 93 homicides in 2022, breaking last year's record of 92. Next on this special edition of Eye on Northwest Politics, we look back at our interviews with candidates in Oregon and Southwest Washington in races that had national implications. And we will revisit our talks with Oregon Senior Senator Ron Wyden, who easily won re-election to his 5th term in the U.S. Senate. That's next on this 1-year anniversary edition of Eye on Northwest Politics.